Yo, what's up? Alright, so underground rap itself has tons of hate. I mean, tons and tons and tons of hate. There's no rapper in the underground that doesn't get hated on. You could be the most unproblematic, kindest, calmest, nicest guy ever, and these fans will still find a way to hate. Honestly, they might even hate on you more because of that, and often the people hating are the biggest fans. They just think that type of stuff is funny because that's just how they are, and that's the type of people this type of music attracts. So let's get into it. The most hated rappers in the underground, and I may or may not make a part 2. The first one is Rich Amiri. Okay, Rich Amiri. This guy is hands down the most hated rapper in the underground right now. And it's not because he's horrible, it's because people think he's horrible and he's doing very well for himself. For example, his last album got a pretty good amount of coverage. He's been selling out shows. Like Lil Shine was playing a show. I think it was his first show since he was like really little. And Shine wasn't the headliner. Rich Amiri was. Shine was a supporting artist. So Rich Amiri is doing pretty well. But besides that, the main hate Rich Amiri gets is because of his voice. The first time I heard his voice, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't listen to the rest of the song. Like I just hated his voice. It was so bad to me, at least at the time. But ever since then, it's grown on me. You know, the flow, the beat, all that stuff still mattered. But his voice just ruined the song for me. So I get why people don't like him or don't like his music. Another reason is in the beginning of his career, he was stealing Isaiah TG's flow shamelessly, and it kind of worked. I think he put a project out with Internet Money that did pretty well, which once again was another reason he was hated. He came up with the Internet Money Stimmy. I don't even know if you call it that. I don't think they have that type of power, but they helped him out and he was associated with them, and everyone hates those guys for some reason. Well, not some reason. They're known for using basic guitar beats, just really basic beats, and their roster has the diversity of an accounting firm. But they're cool. Most recently, the reason Rich Amiri has been getting hated on is because of his ghetto persona he's trying to put on. And hey, I understand you have to embellish certain things to be a rapper, but come on, bro. You're not a thug, or like, you're not like that. He dropped a song, Codeine Crazy, which I didn't think was that good. Honestly, he should just stick to sing. Listen to his song Geneva and you'll know what I mean. He really can sing, but the whole like hood image is just not working and people can see right through it. I recently tuned into his album. I'm not gonna lie, like some of the songs are good, like really good. Ain't Nothing, like that's a good song. That's a good song. But I hadn't listened to Future in a while, and I was listening to some of his music the other day and I was like, wait a second, yo. And then I heard some of the other songs for the album and I was like, damn, this guy just ripped his flow, the type beats, everything completely. And he just made a Walmart version of Future's music, which, you know, I guess his voice is unique and everything, but I'm not really trying to hear that. And most the other underground fans aren't either. So this is the one time where I'd say the hate isn't even unwarranted. Like it totally makes sense why people would be like, yo, dude, there's no originality in this. Like you just ripped off Future. Here's what some fans had to say about Rich Amiri's music. And unfortunately, I can't pop up the images because I forgot to keep the Twitter links. My bad. But here's what they said. Never heard anyone say, yo, twin, turn on that new Rich Amiri. Son is buns. When the beat hard, but Rich Amiri start rapping. He's just constantly getting cooked on Twitter. Like it's not even funny. He's just disliked by every underground rap fan. But that's all I really have to say about him. For the most part, he seems like a cool guy. The next rapper who's hated in the underground is Desire. Desire is Summer's younger brother, and he literally started rapping because Summers started making a bunch of money off of rap. So it was purely financial, and Summers was probably like, yo, you could just be successful because I'm successful. Even if you reach a fraction of my success, like you'll still make a good amount of money and be doing pretty good. And at the time, Desire was a YouTuber, which is, you know, the irony there is crazy, but this guy was one of those like really cringe IRL vlog YouTubers. Like this guy was not hard. But when he became a rapper, he started putting on the street persona and street image, which, you know, of course people are going to be like, dude, you used to make like prank YouTube videos. How are you going to rapping about upping it or whatever? So Desire's career kind of reminds me how in the 2000s, if a singer got successful, they would just give the sibling a career. Think about Nick Carter and Aaron Carter. But this is like the underground rap version of that, which honestly is kind of cool. So anyways, because he started rapping because of Summers and is Summers' younger brother, he uses the same beats, flows, cover art, album titles, and more as Summers. He basically does everything Summers does, but worse, which has earned him the nickname of Walmart Summers. And that's a bit mean, but it's what it boils down to. Desire does everything Summers does, and if he wasn't Summers' younger brother, he would just be a clone that wouldn't get any streams. But here's where I'll give him his props. At first, I'm being completely honest, his music was hot trash, like completely unlistenable. It wasn't even Walmart Summers, it was like Goodwill or Ross or the Sayers version of Summers. But over time, he improved. And if you listen to some of his recent music, it's pretty good, especially stuff with Summers. And you can't really hate on him. He's just doing what's best for him. But despite all of this, Desire is a really easy target. First of all, he responds to fans and lets the hate get to him, and it just become a trend to hate on Desire, which is the worst position to be in because it just makes people hate on you for no reason. You know, people on the internet are just bandwagons and they have this mob mentality, and when they see everyone hating on you, they're just going to continue to do it. It got so bad that if you go on SoundCloud now, there's an account called Songs Without Desire, and it's literally just every song Desire has made with a bigger feature than him, and it's just Desire's part cut out with the feature as the whole song. So they just removed Desire, and he got like really mad and emotional about it and posted it on his story, and then I think he took it down through copyright, but he gets hated on like no other. It's kind of boiled down recently though. The final rapper who gets hated on is none other than the Italian mobster turned SoundCloud rapper Dom Corleo. So the hate on Dom Corleo has decreased over the past year because he's been doing pretty well for himself. He's kind of separated himself from the whole underground rap scene, which is a very smart move. But to put it simply, if you tell someone your favorite artist is Dom Corleo, they're gonna laugh at you and laugh at you hard, rolling on the floor, choking on their spit, and then going into cardiac arrest. In fact, that might be the reaction to any of the artists on this list, but Dom Corleo has improved quite a bit in originality since he's blown up and really grown into his own sound. So you have to give him credit for that, and I will. You have. And today, he just really minds his own business, has his own little fan base, does a ton of shows, and just seems to be getting money. But before all of this, Dom Corleo, for a point, was the most hated artist in the underground. It wasn't even close. There was so much hate surrounding this guy, and I'll explain why. Before Dom Corleo even blew up, people already hated him and hated on him. And it was kind of his fault. He cloned so many artists during his come up. He started off by cloning Plug and B artists like Summers and Autumn. He actually is good friends with Autumn now. And then started cloning Chief Keef and Speaker Knockers. And the thing about this era about Dom Corleo was he was good, but he wasn't really good. And of course, there wasn't much originality. So he didn't really have many fans during this time. He was just associated with people and people were like, oh, Dom Corleo, that guy, we know him. And he would get tons of hate for it. He was always really good at networking too in the underground. He always had connections. So he had some plays, but he wasn't doing really, really good, if you know what I mean. So when he actually got some motion or just some popularity off of his viral TikTok hit Penthouse Shorty, which I was listening to it the other day while driving, and honestly, it's a pretty good song. It came up on like shuffle play and I was about to turn it off, but I was like, wait, this is actually pretty good. So it's a good song. Anyways, when that blew up, people were like, no way, this guy blew up. And they were just like hating on him and hating on him and hating on him because that song, of course, was on like a Destroy Lonely type beat. And for a short while, he was like really, really, really copying Destroy Lonely. Like, I guess they have some similar interests. Like, he's into fashion, Destroy Lonely's into fashion, and then rapping on Destroy Lonely type beats isn't exactly gonna like make people think you're original. So it was a combination of him and Destroy Lonely just talking about similar things in their lyrics, I guess. And then Dom Corleo kind of stole his flow, kind of sounded like him. Yeah, actually, yeah, he was kind of cloning him in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hard to defend. But Destroy Lonely fans were not happy about this. They hated this, and he got a lot of hate for it. Another thing he was hated on was this one interview he did. Basically, on his story, he said, need fly females. And in the interview, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful or mean anything. They weren't fly, and they just looked like they did not want to be there. Like, it was the funniest thing ever, and it was just so cringe and corny. And he got an abomination, like so much hate for this. Like, so many people clown on him, and rightfully so. Like, you can't even defend this. Go ahead and look up his Our Generation music interview. It's horrible. And the person who he was trying to emulate was K Suave. You look at K Suave's interview, he's with a bunch of girls around him, but it's natural. Dom Corleo, it looks like he just paid them to be there, and they were all like sitting around super, super, super uncomfortable, not saying anything. And the last reason, this actually might be I don't know if it's the most popular reason why he's hated on, is because he's white. And being a Caucasian rapper isn't exactly easy, you know, especially when you think about what Dom Corleo raps about. He's kind of one of those rappers that like mixes in like, I don't know how you would say it, like subtle cap. Like, he won't go crazy and be like, yo, I'm putting a hit on someone, or like talking about stuff that's street rap, stuff that you would find in street rap directly, but he'll make like bars and stuff that kind of like allude to it, and everyone knows it's not real, but it still kind of puts on that front, so people aren't going to be super, super, super open to that or receptive. And of course, yeah, people just don't like white rappers. But that's really it for this video. I just thought it was a cool little idea. I'm gonna do more of these list videos, but like underground editions in the future. Give me some titles, recommendations. What do you think about this? And thanks for watching. See you next time.